I am Grace Harry, and I am a joy strategist. What brings me joy? Well, these days, it's literally, I can, see a bird flying and be excited. But what is really important for me and important about the book is it's about what brings you joy. And it's so different and bespoke for every single person. I love during this wellness revolution we're in now that there's meditation and yoga and all these things that, people are starting to learn about. But it really could be your favorite song if you're tuning into it. It's anything that you put your full focus on. So that's what I've been doing recently is the old Grace would try to do 25 things in a day. And now I do 2 with real intention, not with my phone and talking to other people, but actually in the experience of listening to the song, the lyrics, how it feels, the melody, what they were feeling when they created it, walking through a forest and just really feeling the trees and listening to the vibrations. So what's bringing me joy is slowing down and just being in the sexiness of each moment. Where can joy be found? Well, I'm going to start on my soapbox where joy is in your heart, right? It's inner systemic change is really going to be the thing that's going to lead to outer systemic change. I come from a culture where when I was little, my grandparents would say, what do you feel for? How do you feel? And now we're in a culture where it's what do you think? And, I always make the example that if you work for a company run by a brainiac, there's going to be a lot of data and analytics. And if you work for someone who's creative or even approach your own projects with creativity, you're leading from passion. That's your heart. And so joy lives in your heart. And the fastest way to get to what is your personal joy is to realize when you're in your head versus in your heart and start to lean into your own inner GPS, which is how you feel. So for me, that's where you find joy. Why is it important to find joy in ways that are not self-care? So just really thinking about what self-care is, it's literally self-care. And so I think it's important to think of it as you're your own manager, or you're your own lover, or you're your own child, and how we manage those relationships with every freaking detail is self-care. So just taking that concept and do I take care of myself with everything in my life being set up for my optimal love and health and happiness? To me, that is really self-care. So I like talking about outside the current concept of, self-care or a self-love day, because that's really taking it to a very small piece. When you really think about your life as self-care, then you make sure that every single thing in your life, from your finances to your friend groups, your starting 5, really work for the passion in your heart, for your own personal joy. So what is a joy tour? The joy tour is, it's a concept that I came up with a while ago about if we moved around the world impacting each other. I mean, just think about how much people don't look into each other's eyes or smile at each other in the street. So imagine if we took that up a notch, right? We did the ALS challenge of joy. We would make sure that every single day we did something to light ourselves up so much and feel so luminous that we were inspiring other people to be in a state of joy as well. And then last week on a Zoom with the wonderful humans of Anscape, JB and Mary and Sheila and everyone, we decided we were going to go borough to borough and literally ask people, what are your joy practices? What brings you joy? Do you feel that you are in a state of joy every day? So that's the joy tour, from a macro to a micro. How can people be involved with the joy tour? Well, let's start with making sure that you can access your own joy. So what's the very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Do you grab your phone? Do you attend to your family? Do you, do something for your job? You're already out of your own joy. So if you can start your day, like on the plane where you put your own mask on first before you help anyone else, if you can start your day with even 1 minute of joy. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, I don't have time, I have this and that. Do it while you're on the toilet. Do it while you're brushing your teeth. But, in the same way that we were taught to put on our clothes so that we don't walk outside naked, and that we were taught to eat food so we don't starve to death, a lot of us were not taught that joy is essential. That if we don't find a way to access that level of joy, then we're impacting everyone all day from a place of fear or from anger. And if you just think about that, what does that lead to? So how can you support the Joy Tour? Find your own joy every day, spread it. You find something funny, send it to some of your friends. You see someone in the street looking like they're having a not so great day, give them a smile, tell them hello. You see somebody and you want to compliment them, This is the joy tour. It's really being in our own inner system exchange enough to understand that our personal energetic state impacts everyone around us. That is how. In what way has joy impacted my life? This whole book process has been about finding my joy. I was at a place in my life where I had achieved, right, the American dream. Like I had all the things. I had a marriage, and I had a big career and great friends, and I had the stuff that I guess people wanted. And at the end of the day, when I really leaned into my own heart, I wasn't in joy. I hadn't accessed joy. I was living in a very different state that started to not feel great. And I started thinking about the last time I felt joy. And then I started feeling into in my own body, where is joy? And it was not there. It had left the building. And just retracing my steps and redoing parts of my childhood reconnected me to all the places where I had abandoned joy. So I started on the swing in the very park that I used to play in when I was a kid. And it literally was the moment that I got on that tire swing and just got some momentum going, of course, way higher than adults ever wanted me to, that I was above the trees, and there it was. All of a sudden, it was this light, free feeling that I had that I could access on my own without any intermediary telling me what was right or wrong to access, and feel joy. And I committed that moment to access that joy every single day to start my day for the rest of the days I'm blessed to be here. So you're asking about the tools in the book, and I use this example to start it off because I believe that when we start to lean into things around our heart, a lot of those things we learn pre-verbally, so we don't even understand why they're off limit. Oh, I want love, or I want these things, but all of a sudden, when we get on the road to it, this giant firewall appears that we don't know how it appeared or why it's in our life. But if you think about, if you want to get your body in shape, right? You're like, I'm going to start going to the gym, I'm going to get a personal trainer, I'm going to start running again or working out in the park. You know that maybe for 3 days after that first workout or two, you're going to not be able to sit on the toilet. You're going to be in so much pain, but you're going to be complaining, bragging about it to your friends. Oh, I can't sit down, I'm so sore. So we understand that there's work there. But yet when it comes to the heart and the things that matter the most, our intimate relationships, which is with everyone, we don't want to go near that kind of work. So I put a lot of exercises and tools and things in the book because I want to show how simple it is. Even if you can't, I don't remember the last time, I keep hitting my chest, I can't remember the last time I accessed joy and it feels too big, well then I put exercises in there. Everything from just writing a list of 5 things that you remembered when you were 6 made you laugh so hard that maybe something flew out your nose. Or, I love when my friends tell me jokes. Starting to just make lists of ways that you have it already in your life. And then another exercise is to start playing. Every time anyone asks you for something, and this is in the book, and you especially your starting 5, which we'll get into in a minute, when they ask you to do something that sounds fun to them but is out of your comfort zone, do it. Start to really figure out that you don't have all the answers, because if you did, you really probably wouldn't have reached out for this book. So think about it more as a curiosity and a quest, and there's lots of exercises in the book to help lead you through where to find those things. So to me, this is one of the most important things of this whole book. The first and most important thing is that joy is essential, that just by living in joy, you're part of the revolution of joy, changing how you feel in the world and inspiring other people. But the second thing is, once you get yourself in a place where you've got yourself, you understand how to access your joy and lean into your heart and use your heart and your brain and your ego all as the top players on your team. That is what every athlete, every athlete who's in basketball, I should say that differently. This is why my friends don't like when I use sports metaphors. But in basketball, right, you don't have a giant team. You have the most essential, or the 5, the starting 5, the ones who play the game. You may have more, I think up to 12, that are sometimes on the bench. And those are your friends in life that you love to have fun with, that are fun to be around or go out at night. But if you really want to win the game of life, you need a starting 5, right? I don't think LeBron was like, Maverick should be my forward, whatever. Again, I'm sure everyone's cringing. Because it's really who is the best for that position in your life. If you start a company, the first thing you're going to do is, once you have your idea clear, you're going to talk to a few people in your life, people that you respect, people that have maybe been in business or even have had a business go under to gain that kind of experience. But you're definitely going to lean in that you need more information. So if life is a simulation or a game, or even something to win or achieve, which I'm hoping by now you understand my idea of winning and achieving is when you're so inside your own joy that you're using that like its own honing system and GPS to guide you through life, not, winning, making the most money. But when you're really in that state, you need the people who are going to play the other positions and where you are now in that option. Someone who's, okay, I want to start a restaurant. I want to create a restaurant. Then you need people in your life who are not only going to understand a restaurant, but is there someone there who you can brainstorm with? I mean, that is such an essential thing. Someone that has the real skill of thinking beyond their own experiences, just helping you visualize. So it's really essential that when you lean back out in the world after you've done all the work in the book to really get delicious with yourself, that you're starting the advisory board that supports the current version of you, that the empire of me. You find the 5 people who, when you're not, especially me, if I'm feeling stressed out, all of a sudden my loop goes where I can't bother anyone, I don't want to ask questions. So set it up in advance. You know what, I'm starting a business. Kay, I'm going to start calling you once a month to ask you 7 questions. Build a situation around you where you have humans who are here to support your everyday, your every second, and especially your ascension and joy.